Hi, Dr. West. I'm Sean. I'll be interviewing you tonight. Excellent.
Find a donor. Don't baby.
Actually, Dr. West, your work saved my daughter's life 8 years ago.
What?
In July of this year, Atari made a trailer video announcing their partnership with Namco. In a shocking twist, the Atari 50 collection will receive a bunch of classic Namco games. The trailer shows off a few games like Dig Dug and Pac-Man, but what are the included games actually going to be? The DLC doesn't get released until tomorrow, but we're going to look at it today. What's going on? It's Poger coming at you with another video. Alright, we're going to be talking about the Namco DLC for Atari 50. If that sounds interesting to you, hit that subscribe button right there. Trying to see if I can get to 50,000 subscribers by the end of the year. Only you can help me get there. We have a great community on our Discord server. Just go to discord.poger.net if you want to be a part of it. Okay, let's get started. Atari 50 is a collection of over 100 different games on Atari consoles. The lineup of games is excellent, with the list increasing.
Would you like a poetry?
There's even support for the more obscure consoles like 200, Jaguar, and Lynx. You're not just getting the original games, though. There's a timeline mode where you can learn about the history of Atari, and there's plenty of ways you can customize the games in the menu. They didn't just throw a bunch of games on a collection, they went above and beyond. Even though the game was released 3 years ago, Atari has still been releasing DLC to this day. A majority of these added games were properties that Atari owned, but we will get a very surprising announcement in July of 2025. Atari's newest DLC will feature Namco games. Not only that, but a Pac-Man themed 2600 Plus is available for pre-order, and you can buy physical copies of Namco titles. I'm honestly surprised this partnership happened. I did not think Atari had that kind of pull, but I was wrong. Atari released a trailer showcasing some of their games, but what is actually going to be included? We're going to find out today. I did want to thank Atari for giving me early access. Without them, we would not be getting this first look. Here's a list of all the games included with this DLC. I think it's awesome that the 5200, 7800, and 800 are all getting 3 games each, because those consoles didn't have a lot of representation on this collection before. There's a few missing franchises like Pole Position and Ms. Pac-Man. We all know why Ms. Pac-Man wasn't included. My only disappointment is the lack of arcade games. Why only 2? I'm surprised they didn't include Galaga or Pac-Man, but there could be a licensing reason, or maybe Atari is saving them for a future DLC. Now that we've seen what's included, let's try them out individually. Let's start off with the 2600 version of Pac-Man. This game had a rough development history. The developer, Todd Fry, was given a short deadline to make the game from start to finish. He only had 4 kilobytes of RAM space to work with because Atari didn't approve an 8 kilobyte cartridge to be used for it. The result is a game that barely resembles Pac-Man. The level looks nothing like the one from the arcade version. The hit detection is not great either. Even if you're far enough away from the ghosts, you'll still get hit. With that said, the core gameplay is close enough. For a while, this was your only option if you wanted to play Pac-Man at home. What's great about Atari 50 is that you get a nice menu that explains what each game variation does. Normally, you had to look in the manual or use trial and error. One way that you can enjoy Pac-Man on the 2600 is to select the variation where the ghosts move faster. We can see with this homebrew game that a better version of Pac-Man was possible, but it's understandable why Todd Fry's game didn't come out as well because of his lack of time and resources. If you want to know more about him, there are some interviews with Todd Fry in the timeline mode. The 800 version is a significant improvement. The stage actually resembles the one from the arcade version, and there's far less flickering. The ghost AI is very weird in this game. For whatever reason, the red and pink ghosts don't seem to want to chase me. The game also runs slow, and there's no intermissions, although to be fair, the 2600 version didn't have them either. This is still a massive improvement over the one we just looked at, though. The 5200 version is even further improved. For those who don't know, the 5200 has similar hardware to the 800, so many games that were released on both consoles look nearly identical. This version of Pac-Man has a few improvements. The ghosts actually have the proper AI, where the red and pink ghosts chase you around. It also runs way faster, and the intermissions have finally been added. If you're looking to play Pac-Man, this is the best version you're going to get on this DLC. Let's try Galaga on the 7800. It's a shame that the arcade game wasn't included, because this one right here is one of the worst versions. The graphics don't resemble Galaga all that much, and the enemies all move way too slow. I was able to shoot most of them down before they even made it to their formation. When they attack you, they all come down 4 or 5 at a time and overwhelm you. I'm surprised at how aggressive they are in this version. It's worth mentioning that there was no 2600 or 5200 version of Galaga, so maybe this type of game was hard to create on a home console. It's an okay version, but could have been much better. I'm glad that Atari and Digital Eclipse included it on here though to make the collection more complete. Let's try Galaxian on the 2600. The original arcade version was meant to compete against Space Invaders. The core gameplay is similar, but instead of the enemies slowly making their way down, they repeatedly take turns attacking you. Unlike Space Invaders, which used a mirror to fake the background, Galaxian actually had a scrolling background with stars. This ended up becoming Namco's first real successful arcade game, but how do you make something like this on the 2600? Atari did a surprisingly good job with this port. The gameplay and controls feel nearly identical. The enemies that are in formation do not cause flickering, which is impressive for the 2600. I actually don't know how they did that. For reference, remember how much Pac-Man flickered. The only minor setback is the graphics. Due to hardware limitations, the background is completely blank, but for 2600 standards, you really can't do a whole lot better than this. Let's try the 5200 version. As expected, it's more true to the arcade original. The scrolling background has returned, and the graphics resemble the arcade version a bit better. I do find the game significantly more difficult because the enemies are more aggressive. Look at how many come down at a time. At the bottom of the screen, the game will always show the scores for players 1 and 2. I've never seen a game do this, and I do wonder if it takes up less memory to always have the score appear on the screen. If you're looking for a tougher version of the game that's more arcade accurate, this is the one that you want. The Atari 800 version is on here too, but it's nearly the exact same game. This is not too surprising though, because many Atari 800 games were brought over to the 5200 without changing much. Dig Dug got really good treatment on this collection. Let's start off with the arcade version. It's a maze game where you must pull up all the enemies to win the round. You can inflate them with your air pump, but you earn more points if you drop boulders on them. The enemies can move faster than you, so you have to be careful. I have the most fun trying to lure as many enemies as possible to nearby boulders. You're probably not expecting much with the 2600 version, but it surprisingly delivers. The core gameplay was kept intact, but with some limitations. You move very robotically, almost like you're playing on a Tiger handheld console. The tunnels are blocky and don't have very many frames of animation. I'm just nitpicking though. It's a remarkable accomplishment that this game was even brought over to the 2600. The 5200 version is a noticeable improvement. The graphics are slightly more detailed and the movement is more fluent. You're actually digging tunnels this time instead of them magically appearing bigger like they do in the last version we talked about. In a shocking twist, Atari 800 owners got a completely different version of the game. The graphics are better, but the gameplay is not. The frame rate is worse, and there's a bit more flickering. Both games are decent, but the 5200 version has a slight edge over it. The 7800 version is the best of all the console ports, as expected. The graphics are more colorful, and the frame rate is perfect. This is the closest experience you'll get to the arcade version.
I'll get there.
Unfortunately, Atari used the same sound effects from the 2600 game. Now compared to the 2600 version. This is understandable though, because the 7800 uses the same sound chip as the 2600. Between all the console ports of Dig Dug, this is the best one. Another thing that I like about Atari 50 is the ability to add or remove scan lines. If you like the look of a CRT TV, you might want to have scan lines on, but you can also turn them off if you want it to look pixel perfect. And finally, let's talk about CVS. It's an early vertical shoot 'em up. Not only do you have to worry about enemies in the foreground, but you also have to worry about grounded enemies. You can shoot the grounded enemies with your missiles, but you have to line up your crosshair. Some grounded enemies move around, which makes them harder to hit. The game can be challenging because you have to multitask between both the foreground and background. The game was revolutionary for being one of the first scrolling shooters where you could hit enemies in the background. Unfortunately, the game did not receive a lot of ports. There were plans for a 2600 version, but it never made it past the prototype stages. The only version we did get was on the 7800. All things considered, this is an excellent port of the game. The scrolling is smooth and the graphics are colorful. The boss actually moves on its own despite being a large sprite. I'm surprised Atari pulled this off without any flickering. For whatever reason, you shoot missiles and bullets with the same button. While the graphics are nice, it does look pixelated, which is typical of the 7800. It's also a shame that the score and lives are kept on a status bar instead of being full screen. Other than that, it's a well translated version of the original and a great addition to Atari 50. So that's it for the games, but there's one more feature that's worth looking at. A new timeline mode was added where you can learn more about the history of Namco and their involvement with
Thanks for
Atari.
voting in the
There's a lot more
poll.
extras in here like exclusive interviews, concept art.
Every night I tweak this poll to take the temperature of it. I've had different results, but I think this makes the most sense. Chris Blade, I've seen up close what Islam does to people and communities. I'd rather die than submit to it. I agree. I mean, they're both AI and Islam are both evil, right? So it's a pick your poison situation. But when you have to choose, you choose Christ. Surrender to Christ. So it's kind of like a trick question in a way. What do you surrender to? Well, you surrender to Christ, right? But for the sake of this poll, you have one or the other. Because in the material blip, that's how bleak I think the world is that that's our choice between AI and Islam. And be equally scared for different reasons. Um, so yeah, hopefully we get more people um, showing up. I would have more people than now, but I don't know. YouTube's not rewarding me with the typical attention, which is only about not much, like a few people. But I get the. I'm gonna leave this rolling for an hour. It's all for the purpose of the poll, and then I screenshot this poll and I post it on my X account. So I'm keeping track of it because I'm just trying to take the temperature of the planet right now, especially in Canada, because that's where I live. Chris Blade, I chose what I've experienced more. It's not great either, and I'd rather go back to 1990 and stay there forever. I know. I was born in 1979. I remember that we did not need internet. Life was better without internet. We didn't need it. It caused more problems than it solved. And you can see that with a lot of innovations, but it can be said for internet. But, I mean, what do I know? What the fuck do I know? Let's put on some music. Chris Blade, I was born in 1984. Internet fried our brains. Yep. It's always been internet. Forget AI. Forget Bitcoin. It's internet. It's always. What?
Did you rinse the Drano?
No.
Aren't we supposed to?
Look at the timer on the stove.
Well, it's obviously been more than 15 minutes, Josh.
An hour.
No. 16 minutes left.
Okay. Let's do some.
Still here. I know it's here too.
Yeah. I'm Canadian. Where are you from? 7:30. Oh, Sweden. You have really good English. Really good. I would never have guessed that English is a second language. Assuming you're Sweden. I'm from Canada. What's it like? I hear a lot of bad things coming out of Sweden. Is what I hear online the case? Do you feel Sweden is safe? Man, what's going on? Usually get more people than this. Well, I'm just gonna leave this running. I gotta go get a battery so I can charge my phone soon. So, Chris, thanks for contributing to the poll. Hopefully, I get more people. I'd like to. We speak generally good English. Sweden is ruined. Okay, so it's what I seen. People stay inside their apartments, and there's no life outside anymore. People are scared to greet each other on the streets. Okay, that's unfortunately that's what I'm seeing from Canada. The news that I follow about Europe in general, but particularly Sweden. You were the first that would. Yeah, I know, I know. It's happening in Canada now. I know you've been the trailblazers for this invasion. Yeah, my heart goes out to your country, man. I've never been to Sweden, but I don't know. I wish I saw Sweden before it was destroyed. But guess what? Uh, it's just it's all down to yeah. I bet, Chris. A lot of things were better in the '90s. But you know what destroyed the world? It's something that we do naturally. Jaded conquest fetish with innovative self-loathing. I invented that. I had AI to help me pound out these ideas, but they're original in their mind. Do you know anything? If it is Italy, do you know anything about Italy? The state of Italy, Chris? Like, what do you hear out of Italy? Anything? Oh man, yeah. Is it is it safe, Chris? Is this safe to visit? If I was to go to Italy with my family, would you recommend that? Yes or no? That really breaks my heart. That really pisses me off. Well, I am glad. I'm thankful that you told me this information on the poll. I appreciate it. You know, you're trying to know, right? You're trying to know. You know, protect your family. So I appreciate that. Oh gosh, I'm tired. Uh, hey, I'll be right back. I don't know what to do. Oh, you do? Shit. I yeah. Um, I have a 12-year-old daughter and a 6-year-old son. How old are your kids? Oh man. Oh my god. 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 Oh god. I'm gonna say a prayer for you and your family right now, okay? Just a simple prayer, just a gesture from European to European. Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Lord, I pray for Chris's family. I pray that nationalism can rise and they can fight back the hordes of victim abuse, taking advantage of people that don't deserve it. Okay? Um, really, really breaks my heart. My heart goes out to Sweden, goes out to Europe. God bless you. Hey, Chris, thank you. Thank you for sharing this information. I appreciate it. I appreciate that. You know, if you really want to see, I only do the polls now on YouTube. But if you really want to see me sound off, go on X. John Ralph Tuccitto, same name as my YouTube channel. There I unleash, motherfucker. Like if you look at my old static content live streams, I sound off pretty well there. But there's too many kids on YouTube. YouTube doesn't filter them out. They suck. YouTube sucks at this. That's why I went to X. There's no kids on X, right? It's all adults. So I can say what I want. Hey, whoever else has joined, you should do the poll. I'm trying to take the temperature on the internet, I guess. You should check out the poll. I'm dying to know what you think of it by contributing. Yeah, that's the place. That's the place to go. I I uh I got kids, man. I don't give a flying fuck about anyone's feelings. If your lies hurt, harm, and maim your political enemies, fuck you. Okay, the party's over. Okay, do you understand hell is waiting? You understand? This material blip is just our judgment, right? Earth is not heaven. Earth is not heaven, right? Right? Surrender to Christ, man. I don't know. The revelations are an individual journey, right? There's no mass. There's no mass event, right? The people that die in a fire, believe you me, they face their reckoning. People that die in car accidents, people that die in plane crashes, people that are raped to death, they have their own reckoning. Okay, their Armageddon has come and gone. Chris, Earth, how it is now, is no heaven for sure. Yeah. So when people come up, oh, there's no such thing as God. It's like, okay, there's lots of evidence to support that. There's a lot of facts that support that, right? Because it just measures the material, right? But you get those metaphysical assumptions that the material likes to skewer with theory, right? I can prove God exists, but guess what? Proof is not faith. People that evangelize their proof of God are cult leaders. But guess what? Fathers are the ultimate cult. Kant cult. Kant cult. Fathers are a cunt cult. God made cunt cult. Jesus died for the cunt cult. That's my outlook on life because I had children. And as a bipolar person, it is all consuming that I raise good citizens that love their country. And I teach them what it used to be, right? Where Canada was a darling of the world. Now it's a dumpster fire. Fuck Canada. Okay? I was born here. I don't fly that libtard flag. I wear the poppy. A category of Canadian that fought for this country. Reason why we can have live streams and say what we want. Right? It's just like internet. Right? Just like internet. It's like, oh, it's social media. No, it's internet. Oh, it's this and that. No. It's because of the vets in World War II, the wars. Right? It's them. No, man, Chris. Canada's a dumpster fire, man. I mean, it might be better, but it's heading the same way Sweden is. We got the libtards are blaming unvaccinated for the rise of disease. It's like you've let in millions and millions, like 10 million illegal immigrants into the country that are not vaccinated. But they'll no. They'll maim and murder for political views, right? Libtards. I don't know, man. Part of me just thinks, you know what? Fight for your country. Friday, I'm gonna go on my downtown, Georgetown downtown. That's where I live. I live near around there. I go there. I'm gonna protest. I have a sign that I haven't made that's saying, "Digital ID, not for me. Digital ID, not for me." And I'm gonna stand for a good hour and a half and watch people. So I get people honking, tell me you're fucking crazy, or they'll like, "Thank you, brother." Stuff like that. Because I'm trying to sleep at night. I'm losing sleep, man. I gotta do something, right? Uh, Parenting is not for the weak, right? For those that are dinks, the rest of us are outbred with incestuous pedophilia. You jam more generations into a lifetime. You just breed and vote. Before you know it, they don't care if the country collapses because it's probably still better off than where they were. Entitled intolerance. I've written this ad nauseum. I got websites: johnralphtuccitto.com, cosmicchatter.com, brainsmithy.com, sardonicpoet.com. I got 3 books, self-published. If you Google my name, johnralphtuccitto.com, you'll see the books. You can buy them. I recommend buying, if you're going to check them out, buy the Kindle or the iBook, or whatever the Google Play equivalent is. I guess Google Play. And then if you really like it, if you like the art, buy the book. And then what you could do is, it's a conversation piece, or you could rip out the art from the book and frame it in your house. It's the only art I sell. It's crazy shit, man. Psychosis. I published my books in 2017, 19, and 20. So I tried to publish more, but it didn't work out. The latest book that I would recommend that you don't have to buy, it's free. If you go to sardonicpoet.com/667, that's probably my best book, my best manuscript. And if I ever had a chance to publish another book, it would be 667, because that's my IQ. See? 667. Why 67? What's Sane's IQ? What's Sane's IQ? If my IQ is 667, what's Sane's IQ? 666. But that's what he does, right? He gives you that boost. What? Okay, I gotta go.